Hello everyone, welcome to my TED Talk. My name is Kamal, and today I will be talking about the compliment sandwich feedback, how to sweeten a bitter pill. I hope that you will find this talk as useful. So if you are a teacher, then you probably have some experience when it comes to dealing with feedback. Now, why is feedback so important? Well, first, I think that it is an important source of knowledge for novice teachers. And secondly, it helps to guide them in terms of their professional development. And third, especially for mentors, it acts as a form of assessment to evaluate our mentees' performance as teachers. Now, I know that what I've just said sounds very positive and wonderful, but we should be aware that giving feedback is a form of evaluation, and because of that, it has the potential to cause conflict or friction between the mentor and the mentee. Giving feedback can be a difficult task to do, and to be completely honest, I personally find it really hard. Giving feedback involves our skills to communicate, being observant and reflective while trying to maintain a positive rapport with our mentee, and that's a lot to do in such a short amount of time. As mentors, we often feel conflicted in giving feedback. We often care more about building and maintaining a good relationship with our mentees, especially in a face-to-face interaction. And as good teachers, we are very aware of the damaging effect that criticism has on our mentees' self-esteem and motivation. So what are the ingredients that we need to make our good news sandwich? The first layer is praise, which is basically giving a positive comment on something that your mentee did that you really like. After that, it is followed by constructive criticism on something that you are not very happy about. And the third and final layer is a suggestion where you can give a recommendation to your mentees for improvement based on the previous criticism that you've made. So what are the advantages of using this technique? Personally, for me, the biggest advantage when it comes to using this technique is that it helps to soften the criticism and suggestions in my feedback. Secondly, it also helps to reinforce appropriate teaching behavior that I would like my students to emulate in the future. And another important reason is obviously in terms of motivation, by fostering our mentees' self-esteem. So this is a good example of a good news sandwich from my own post-teaching conference with my mentee. Now, as you can see, I started my feedback with praises on some of the aspects of teaching that I think my mentees did really well in their lesson. And often, it's always easier to say nice things than giving negative criticism. After that, this is the difficult part, which is criticism. If you notice, I tried to soften my criticism on time management by showing some empathy on the issue of time constraint. You could also use other strategies such as using questions to achieve the same effect. And lastly, I tried to give a suggestion on how to improve the issue that I have highlighted in my previous criticism. I use models such as could to stress that this is just a suggestion as a way to soften my recommendation. So I have three important aspects that I would like to talk about on using the good news sandwich strategies in giving feedback. The first one is in terms of authenticity. I strongly believe that feedback should be genuine and sincere. The praises that we are giving should be specific and detailed, so as not to just be for the sake of perfunctory. Do not try to fake it because that is lying, and people often can tell when we are lying. Balance is also an important aspect to think about. Ideally, there should be a balance between the positive and negative comments in your feedback. You might also want to consider your approach in giving your feedback. whether you want it to be direct or indirect. It is also important for us to remember that there are individual differences when it comes to anything that involves working with people. What might be an effective strategy for one trainer or mentee might not be very effective for another. And also, some trainers might prefer just to receive direct and straightforward feedbacks. Think about that. I think we need to make judicious decisions when it comes to giving developmental feedback to our mentees. There is no right or wrong answers here, but I think we should be aware of how we are giving our feedback to our mentees and the effect that it has on them. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk, and I hope you find it useful, and see ya. Goodbye.